Okay, picture this. It is late on a Sunday night.
Mhm.
You've just wrestled your luggage through the front door. You are absolutely exhausted, but it's that specific, satisfied kind of exhaustion.
The post-vacation high.
Exactly. You just got back from a week away. Maybe you were soaking up the coast in San Diego or hiking up near Sacramento. Your camera roll is full, and all you want to do is just flop onto your own bed.
There is nothing like your own bed. It's that moment of, I'm back in my sanctuary.
It's the perfect end to a perfect trip. But here's the twist. While you're unpacking, you might also be unpacking something else.
Something you didn't pay for.
Something tiny, incredibly flat, and honestly, pretty terrifying.
And just like that, the vacation glow is gone.
Instantly gone. We are talking about the unwanted souvenir, the stowaway.
We're talking about bed bugs. And today we're looking at a guide from Simple Pest Management that details exactly how these things follow you home.
I feel like I just heard a collective shudder from our listeners. Just the phrase bed bug makes you want to scratch your arm. I'm literally scratching mine right now.
It is a primal fear. It really is. But the goal of this deep dive isn't just to scare you. Well, maybe a little bit. But mostly it's to swap that fear for competence.
I love that. Turning panic into a plan. So before we get into the creepy crawly details, I am Mark Buzz.
And I am Anna Bugs.
And our mission today is simple. We want to arm you, the listener, with the protocol. How to inspect, detect, and protect your home so your vacation doesn't turn into a nightmare.
Because prevention is infinitely cheaper, easier, and just less traumatic than the cure. You really don't want to deal with the cure.
Oh, for sure. Now, I want to address the stereotype right away.
Right.
I think a lot of us assume bed bugs are a sign of, dirtiness.
It's a dirty hotel myth. Yes, we need to just dispel that right now.
That you only get them if you stay in some questionable roadside motel.
Right. But the guide from Simple Pest Management calls them equal opportunity pests. They do not care about the star rating of your hotel. They don't care about 1,000 thread count sheets.
So a 5-star resort in Placer County is just as vulnerable as a hostel.
Absolutely. If people are sleeping there, bed bugs can be there. They're attracted to warmth, carbon dioxide, and blood. If you're alive and breathing, you're a target.
Okay, that's somehow both comforting and way more terrifying. So let's look at the mechanics. How do they actually do it? They can't fly, they can't jump.
Think of them as the ultimate hitchhikers. Unlike an ant that might wander in, bedbugs almost always need an accomplice. They need a ride.
And we are the ride.
We are the drivers, and our luggage is the vehicle.
That makes sense. But here's what really caught me off guard in the reading. I always assume the transfer happens at the hotel, but the source mentions other places.
It's surprising. Obviously, hotels are ground zero. But think about all the other places you sit for a long time. The guide lists airplane seats.
Which you can't really inspect before you sit down.
Not at all. And rental cars, thousands of people cycle through those, even movie theaters.
Movie theaters, seriously.
Yeah, it's dark, it's upholstered, people are sitting still for 2 hours. It's a perfect transfer station.
The guide even mentioned retail stores.
It's possible. Any place with high human turnover can be a transfer point. Someone with an infestation at home sits down, a bug crawls off, then you sit down, and boom, you have a passenger.
That makes the world feel like a minefield. But let's stick to the luggage, because that's the main Trojan horse. What makes it so perfect for them?
It's the structure. Bed bugs are reddish-brown, about the size of an apple seed, but they are incredibly flat. They're experts at something called thigmotaxis.
Pigma what now?
Thigmotaxis. It just means they love tight spaces. They want to feel pressure on their backs and bellies.
So they aren't just sitting on top of your shirts?
No. They wedge themselves into the seams of the suitcase, inside the zipper tracks, in the fabric lining, places you would never see with a quick glance.
So they are masters of concealment.
Exactly. And here's the fact from the source material that really elevates the creep factor for me.
I'm ready. Hit me.
Patience. These things can survive for months without a blood meal. Months. So you get home, you toss your suitcase in the closet, and you don't use it again for a while. That bug isn't dying, it's just sitting there waiting.
That is horrifying. It's like a little sleeper agent in your closet.
And once it senses you're nearby, the stakes get high very, very quickly. Which brings us to reproduction.
The math on this in the guide was staggering.
It's exponential. A single pregnant female can lay hundreds of eggs. So you bring home one, and in just a few weeks, you don't have a bug. You have a colony.
And you probably don't even notice the first generation.
Not at all. You usually notice the second or third when things are already getting bad.
Okay, so let's say the worst has happened. They're in the house. How do we know? I feel like the obvious answer is I woke up covered in bites.
You would think so. That's what everyone waits for. But the source material is very clear. Relying on bites is a dangerous trap. It's a really unreliable metric.
Why? A bite seems pretty definitive.
Because the bite mark itself, that red, itchy welt, it's an allergic reaction to their saliva, and human immune systems vary wildly.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
A huge portion of the population has no reaction at all. You could be getting bitten every night and have 0 marks on your skin.
Wow. So I could be thinking I'm safe while the population is doubling under my mattress.
Exactly. Or one person in a couple is covered in welts, and the other has nothing. It just creates a false sense of security.
So if we can't trust our skin, we have to go full CSI. Bedroom. We have to look for physical evidence.
You're looking for their debris. The guide lists a few key things. First, stains on the sheets. Small, rust-colored or reddish-brown dots.
Which is what, exactly?
It's one of 2 things, and neither is pleasant. It's either a crushed bug or it's their fecal matter. It looks like a little dot from a magic marker.
Lovely. Okay, so rust-colored dots. What else?
Shed skins. As they grow, they molt and leave behind these pale, translucent shells that look just like the bug. You'll find them in the seams of the mattress.
And the source mentioned a smell, too.
Yes, but that's usually a sign of a pretty significant infestation. It's described as a sweet, musty odor. Some people say it smells like rotting raspberries.
Not a scent you'd want for your bedroom. Now, we call them bed bugs, so I assume they're in the bed, but the name is a bit misleading.
It is, in the sense that they don't live exclusively in the bed. They feed in the bed, because that's where you are. But during the day, they commute.
You have a commute. Great.
You want to be close, but hidden. So yeah, the mattress and box spring are ground zero, but the guide lists some hiding spots that would shock most people.
Yeah, I was reading this list and literally looking around my own room, behind picture frames.
Yep. If you have a picture hanging over your bed, it's dark, undisturbed, and close to the food source. Prime real estate.
And inside electrical outlets.
They're so thin they can slip right behind the faceplate. And that's dangerous because it gives them access to the wall voids.
The wall voids.
The space between your walls. Once they're in there, they can travel between rooms. That's how an infestation spreads from one bedroom to the whole house.
That is profound nightmare fuel.
Also check along carpet edges, under the baseboards, behind peeling wallpaper. Intricate wooden headboards are another favorite.
Because of all the little cracks and carving.
Exactly. The rule of thumb is if you can slide a credit card into a crack, a bedbug can hide there.
So we know they're gross. But let's talk about the actual damage. The source makes a point that's a bit of a relief. They don't spread disease.
That's the one silver lining. They aren't vectors for pathogens like mosquitoes or ticks. But that doesn't mean they're harmless. You can get severe allergic reactions or secondary infections from scratching.
But the part that really stuck with me was the mental aspect, the psychological toll.
It's huge. The source mentions anxiety, stress, insomnia. I mean, think about it. Sleep is supposed to be your reset. When you know something is waiting to eat you, that breaks your sense of safety.
Yeah, you're lying there. Every little tickle on your leg makes you jump. You're turning the light on at 3 in the morning just to check.
It's a state of hypervigilance. And it's even worse when you have kids or elderly family members you feel like you failed to protect.
Which is why we need to pivot to solutions. Let's talk about the defense protocol from the guide. It starts the second you pull into your driveway.
It does, and this requires a new habit. It's called the garage rule.
Walk us through it, because I am guilty of dragging my suitcase straight to the bedroom and dumping it on the bed.
That is the #1 mistake. That's opening the gates of Troy. The garage rule is simple. Do not bring the suitcase into the bedroom. Ever. Inspect it in the garage, on a hard floor in the entryway, or even on a patio.
And we're using a flashlight, being really thorough.
Exactly. Check the zippers, the pockets, the seams. You're looking for hitchhikers before they can get out and scatter.
Okay, inspection done. Now laundry. The guide says a normal wash isn't enough.
You need heat. Heat is their kryptonite. Wash everything in hot water, but the dryer is the real weapon. High heat for at least 30 minutes.
And the magic number is 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's the thermal death point for both the bugs and their eggs. It kills them instantly.
And do this for all the clothes in the suitcase, right? Even the clean ones?
Yes. Don't sort them. A bug could have crawled into your clean t-shirts just as easily. If it was in the bag, it goes in the dryer.
What about the suitcase itself? Can't throw that in the dryer.
No, but you can vacuum it. Go over every inch with the hose attachment. But, and this is the crucial step people forget, you have to deal with the vacuum bag.
Don't just leave it in the closet.
Never. You have to remove the bag, seal it in a plastic trash bag, and take it to the outside bin immediately. Otherwise, the bug just crawls right back out.
Okay, pro tip. What about things you can't wash, like books or electronics?
For those, if you're suspicious, the guide suggests the freezing strategy. Seal them in a Ziploc bag and put them in your freezer.
For how long?
At 0 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 4 days.
4 days. So heat is fast, cold is slow.
Correct.
Now let's say we find bugs. The instinct is to run to the store and buy a bug bomb. But the guide is very firm. Do not do that.
Please do not do that. It is what they call the DIY trap.
Why is it such a bad idea?
2 reasons. First, those foggers can't reach the deep hiding spots like inside the wall voids, so you're just killing the ones out in the open.
You're missing the source of the problem.
Exactly. But the second reason is worse. Many of those chemicals are repellents. They irritate the bugs and they flee.
A scatter effect.
Precisely. You set off a fogger in the bedroom and the bugs run into the walls, to the guest room, to the living room sofa. You take a contained problem and you spread it to the entire house.
Wow. You're making the problem exponentially harder and more expensive to solve.
You are poking the hornet's nest. This is one of those times where calling a professional isn't a luxury, it's the only way to succeed.
And that brings us to our source, Simple Pest Management. They're based out of California, right?
Yes, they serve San Diego, Sacramento, Riverside, and Placer counties. They do thorough inspections and targeted treatments that actually work.
But I have to say, my favorite detail from the whole article wasn't about the bugs at all. It was about the staff.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
We have to talk about Theodore Augustus Palchi.
Teddy.
Teddy. The author of the article is a mini Bernedoodle. He's the chief bedbug officer.
It's adorable, but it's also functional. The source says Teddy is in training for scent detection.
That is so cool. So he'll eventually be able to sniff out the bugs.
That's the goal. We mentioned that musty raspberry smell. Dogs can be trained to pinpoint it with incredible accuracy, even finding bugs inside a wall.
I just love the idea of a morale-boosting dog in the office who is also learning the trade.
It's a great touch. And speaking of the business, they offer something really valuable for anyone worried right now.
The free inspection.
Yes. For homeowners in their service area, they'll come out and inspect for free.
That seems like a no-brainer if you just got back from a big trip and want some peace of mind.
Exactly, because early detection is everything.
So the big takeaway here shouldn't be never travel again.
Not at all. Go see the world. The takeaway is vigilance. It's about building a new habit. You inspect your luggage when you get home, just like you lock your doors when you leave.
A 10-minute inspection in the garage versus months of anxiety.
Precisely. It puts the control back in your hands. You have a protocol now.
I love that. So listener, enjoy your trip. But when you get back, stop at the door. Grab that flashlight. Be the security guard for your own home.
And maybe throw those clothes in the dryer immediately.
Definitely throw the clothes in the dryer.
Right.
Hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, if we made you itchy but also informed, please follow and like this show.
And if you want to support the source of this info, or if you need help in California, follow Simple Pest Management on social media. You can also visit them online at www.simplepest.com.
Maybe you'll get to meet Teddy.
One can hope.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Sleep tight.
And don't let the bedbugs bite, literally.
Catch you next time.